Hey guys, in this video, I will show you how to build a proper team. Obviously, I can't cover every single game mode, so I will go over general idea of how to do it. As always, enable the YouTube subtitles if needed, and let us dive right in.
I am not drunk.
Yes, you are.
I am not fucking drunk.
Can you tell the time?
Yes. I am not fucking drunk.
First thing to do is figuring out if you need 1 or 2 farms for your team. As an example, a Fortune Speedwagon earns around 120,000 yen in 15 waves, and he earns around 166,000 in 20 waves. That's about enough to get Lancer on Rapture and Sungjin Woo to upgrade 11 in Legend stages. Now with 2 farms, you earn about 180,000 in 15 waves and nearly 300,000 in 20 waves. Now let us build a team. If you're using a very cost-efficient team such as Griffith and Goblin Slayer team, you would only need 1 farm. Obviously, the game mode you're playing matters a lot too. Game modes like Rifts gives a lot of base money which allows for very heavy teams. In general, you would want 2 DPS, 2 supports and 2 farms. 1 DPS for early or multi-purpose such as Sungjin Woo, and another for boss killing such as Goblin Slayer etc. One of the supports is a stage-specific support such as Witch against resilient enemies and Rift. Next support can be any support of your choice such as Stag for 50% slow that works on bosses or Weather Report for bubbled and slow. In my opinion, Weather Report is one of if not the best crowd control support in the game at the moment. Lastly, back to deciding if you need 1 or 2 farms. Because we have Goblin Slayer, our team is very cheap. We can go for single farm team. In here I can use Armin for more cost efficiency and damage boost for my Goblin Slayer. Now, you can play around with this format. Here is an example of a proper general team. This team has a lot of purpose and synergies. We have Griffith and Weather Report for damage boost and crowd control. The MCA for Cleave which boosts guts bleed damage and early defense along with early full AoE. Because DMCA gets early AoE, he has no problem protecting himself from Griffith demons. Not only that, they have zero trouble shredding through a 20 million health boss in a wave 20 game mode. This is the damage output without being maximum upgrade, because 15 waves isn't enough money for them. If you have a proper full familiar on your farms, maybe it is a different case. But yes, this team has anti-regeneration, breaks shield, crazy DPS output, cheap, proper crowd control etc.
Etch this moment into your brain, Gohan.
Another type of team is a hyper carry team. This is when you make your entire team around 1 unit. An example of this is Kaguya and Yhwach team. Here is an example of a very strong Kaguya team. You have Quetzalcoatl and Sukuna for damage boost, Weather Report for bubbled and all the major element needed for Kaguya. DMCA boosts her damage by 30% and Quetzalcoatl boosts her by 21%. One bad thing about this is that Quetzal only boosts damage if she's in range and Kaguya teleports around. So you need to make sure to place her all around. The idea of this team is very simple. Use a nuke while she is fully boosted and the boss bubbled. Place Quetzalcoatl around places she might teleport to. Place all for Weather Report near boss spawn, and Sukuna somewhere random. Now, just wait until boss spawns. Use her domain and use her nuke. She can easily deal with 10 million health boss on her own. You can also get Monarch on your DMCA for this team for another strong DPS. These kinds of hyper carry teams are what you would want to use if you are not rich yet. Another hyper carry team I will show you is Yhwach team. This is one of if not the cheapest team in the game. Because of Yhwach's big range, he can deal with most of the bosses in game. He only costs 66,000 to maximum, has full AoE, a lot of damage and so on. Yhwach deals double his displayed damage when the enemy at the front and back are different. So he's dealing 1 million damage. With the help of Sakura and Joseph, you can drop Yhwach's DPS to 5 seconds. Simply maximum Joseph and use Sakura's ability on Joseph and Yhwach. His spar will become Sakura's spar. so he's dealing 1 million damage every 5 spot here. That's 220,000 DPS. This is the strongest full AoE unit in the entire game excluding Broly. Lots of people downplay him, but he is the most cost efficient unit in the entire game. Because of his ridiculously big range, he can deal bosses with 25 million health on his own. Do not be scared to try out units, just because it takes an entire team to make them good. You can also place Griffith in this team. Enough with boring hyper carry teams, moving on to units that coexists. This is when a unit benefits each other, one-sided or another. An example of this is the fire team. The team is on the expensive side, costing 260,000. It is recommended to use this in wave 20 game modes, or you can even not maximum Tengen. Tengen is a damage buffer, applies scorched, breaks shield for Escanor, and does pretty decent job at early defense. Escanor is the main DPS of the team with nuke, and his burns keeps everyone safe from Griffith's demons. Hibana apples burns and applies scorched. Because we already have Tengen applying scorched, feel free to replace her with units like Smith. Although this team is very costly, it deals crazy DPS, capable of shredding bosses with ease. You can keep Tengen on upgrade 8 or below for 15 wave game modes if you want to use this team. Overall a very strong team. But obviously, I'd recommend you use just Escanor alone for 15 waves game modes. Escanor's nuke is strong enough to take down most bosses. Wait, did you catch that? You saw that right, Escanor deals nearly 7 million damage with nuke on this team. This team is just made to shred bosses for fun. And the best team in the game. There are a lot of teams I couldn't cover, but there are hundreds of possibilities. This video covered the general teams. Maybe I will cover specific teams like MVP farming team in the distant future. Let me see you get creative and tell me what team you're rocking. I hope this video helped you get the general idea of how to build a team. Sorry for the 6-day wait, I've been sick. But the video is out now. And thanks to everyone for the support. It means a lot to me. That will be all, and I will see you next time.
For